What is going on, my fellow floppers, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, guys, I'm going to be giving you some tips on how you can die less within the game and how you can perform a lot better, because this Call of Duty seems to be very difficult for a lot of people, and learning how to play it and how to get those kills, those wins, and those high kill streaks. So I'm going to be teaching you guys a few simple tips on what you can do going forward. But if you do enjoy today's video, guys, definitely drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and turn on post notifications. With all that being said, let's jump right into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about then, guys, is the movement system. Now the movement system is so much cleaner than I've ever seen in any release of any Call of Duty, well, for a very long time, should I say. And the movement system is really nice and it feels so clean. You can genuinely like run around the map with no problems. You know, you can do your sliding, everything about it. Now the good thing about this, it's also added in a few extra benefits when trying to win those easy gunfights and even some of those difficult gunfights as well. So they fetched in slide cancelling, which was very bad in the beta, and it's pretty good in Warzone, but I feel like it's a lot better in Vanguard multiplayer. So if you're not too sure on how to do it, slide cancelling, basically you're in a tactical sprint, you press to slide and then you press to slide again and then press to jump, and that'll put you back into a tactical sprint. Now the easiest way to go back into the tactical sprint as well, because this game doesn't actually do it if you have the standard settings on, so you do need to change your settings so that your tactical sprint is automatic. You do need to turn that on in the settings, so that is one thing I do highly recommend. Now you can actually do a lot of bee hopping, bunny hopping, a lot of that around the map. It's really easy to do. You can literally just be sprinting, jump around a corner, and you can double jump. Jump shotting in this game is absolutely fantastic. I don't really recommend drop shotting. Drop shotting's always been one of the better, more stronger ways to get those kills, but that's definitely gone down the pan a lot, so I would highly recommend jump shotting a lot within this game. Now moving away from the movement, as they're the basic movements that I would highly recommend you doing, let's discuss on how you need to be playing these games, because if you're heading into a map, you're gonna find that you're gonna struggle a lot when playing for the objective down the middle. Now the middle of the map is absolutely ridiculously, it's just crazy, and if you're playing like a blitz where it's like the highest amount of people in the lobby, which is something else I highly recommend, because you're gonna get a lot more kills this way, but if you're playing, for example, blitz, and there's gonna be like 24v24, you don't want to be heading down the middle, because there's literally just gonna be bullets flying everywhere and you're probably gonna die a lot. Now what I highly recommend is, guys, is sticking to the edges of the map and using the cover to your maximum. By doing this, there's only two places the enemy are gonna come, either from the side of you or in front of you. Now I know the spawns are somewhat broken in the game at the moment, which I know they will be getting fixed, so once they are fixed you won't be getting anyone shooting you from behind, but still, even around the edge of the map, you shouldn't be getting shot from behind as often, and it should prevent those deaths. So using the edge of the map, like I said, is absolutely key, and it's going to make life a lot more easier, and you're not going to be dying consistently in the middle of the map, which is always a bonus. However, one thing to bear in mind when running around the edge of the map is, on some of the bigger maps you can be wide in the open, so like I said, if you can find cover, make sure you take full advantage of cover. And another great thing about being in certain maps, the game modes, depending on what you're playing, you may want to be a little bit more passive than aggressive, so maybe be aggressive to get into a building, and then you can lock down a specific area within a building. So it's not essentially camping, because some of the, like Berlin for example, you've got a really big building in the middle, and if you can get into that and control that building, you're going to be laughing and getting a lot of kills. So definitely something to keep in mind going forward. Now another huge factor in this is weapon choice. Now I think there's around 35 weapons, 30 to 35 weapons, trying to remember off the top of my head, so there's a lot of choices for weapons you can use in this game, but you need to make sure you're using the correct choice of weapon. So for example, the most overpowered weapons right now is the STG and the MP40. There's a few others out there that people don't talk about, like for example the Tommy gun, the Type 100. I feel like those two are just as powerful as what the MP40 are, so they're definitely other weapons to try out, but you need to find what weapon you feel most comfortable with and what you feel like you're doing the best with. And once you've found out which weapon's best for you, you definitely need to make sure you're learning the recoil. Basically every weapon has its own recoil pattern. No matter what attachments you put on, the recoil pattern will still go in the same way, so you're best off hopping into maybe a game just before you start, so a private game, and just shooting at a wall from distance so you know where the recoil pattern is. If you learn the recoil, you're going to get a lot better at winning those gunfights. You're going to know where the weapon's going to bounce off to, so you know where to hold your joystick to make sure you are reducing the amount of recoil in that weapon as much as you possibly can. And speaking of which, you're reducing recoil and making sure you know where the enemies are, you want to make sure your crosshairs are in the middle of the map at all times. sometimes. Yeah, sometimes people are slightly above you, slightly below you. If you've got your crosshairs in the center of the map, you're not trying to swing them all the way from your feet to your head and vice versa. So you're going to make sure you can see everything on your screen. I would highly recommend increasing your field of view as well, just so then you can see everything that's going on around you. These are a few other settings I probably would recommend, but I'd rather make a full in-depth video on that if that's something you guys are interested in. So then next up guys, when you are using your kill streaks, you want to make sure you're taking full advantage of using a UAV. Now if you're playing in a team and you've all got your UAVs up, you can actually turn that into a VSAT or whatever it's called within this game. So the more UAVs you've got up at one time, the better it's going to be and you can see the enemy location. However, once you've got your UAV up, pre-firing is something in this game I would highly recommend. So if you can see where the enemy is on the map and they're around the corner, I'd definitely bunny hop round the corner and pre-fire at the same time. Higher chance you are going to win that gunfight. But these are just a few simple tips guys on how you can improve. I know it's still early on in the game and the game will change and how things work within the game, but it's a big learning curve for a lot of people, especially a lot of casual players as well. So if you found this video useful, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications, but as always guys, I'll catch you on the next video.